What is up, gamers? Welcome to the stream. I've put packing up and shipping out in the stream title, but actually there might be a small change of plan because I can't stream for as long as I'd hoped this evening due to a change of plan at work. So I'm going to have to have an early night, unfortunately. Let me just check the stream is okay. I've put packing up and shipping out. Seems perfectly fine to me. But I wasn't going to go straight to bed because, yeah. Right. So remember yesterday I spoke for a little bit about how we can, what we can do about defending the base while we're away, and I foolishly said, oh, we'll just turn the base off, and then the, here it is, turn off the base when I leave. Which of course will solve the pollution problem, but it won't solve the biter expansion problem. So we still kind of have to set up some defences, but a little bird told me, if you can believe it, and I'm aware of the irony here of being all like, don't backseat me, don't spoil me, etc, etc, but someone intimated even, that the tank can be remotely controlled. Which I don't understand that, because I don't believe it, to be honest with you. It sounds wrong. It sounds like a playground rumour, you know? You can get Cloud in Final Fantasy VIII if you do this, this and this. Sounds like one of those things. But we're going to do it, because why wouldn't we at least try it? And I did talk about building a tank a long time ago, so we may as well flippin' do it. Because then we can maybe set up more advanced radar system for the base. Also, is it true that the roboports have a radar in them as well now, just naturally? We might have to try that. Is that true information? If so, why don't they take a radar to craft? Huh? Riddle me that. They do. It says radar range 2. I mean, that's basically nothing, right? What's the radar range of a radar? Continuous coverage distance 3, exploration coverage distance 14. So, I mean, the roboport is not nothing. Let's go out into the void and see exactly what this does. Where are you going? Oh, it's just trees, don't worry. Alright. I don't actually have any roboports on me, so that's quite funny. Back we go. I did feel a little bit better actually from, I saw a post on the Factorio subreddit this morning, which I resubscribed to now that I feel like it's been long enough and I've seen enough of the early game to not run into immediate spoilers. Not that I really genuinely think you can spoil it, you know, like, oh, it turns out you go to space! Ah! Give me 10 robobots. I can't believe Green Circuits is still failing. But at least it's failing because we just haven't built enough infrastructure rather than something a bit more serious like... Oh, I was going to say like copper or iron running out, but... Yeah. Get rid of all this gumph. Where's the next iron ore patch? I mean, that's a disaster, if true, big if true. There's this one up here, which is actually pretty decent because, as I say, there's a nice choke point here that we can defend from this pollution. Anyway, let's not get distracted. I've only got like 2 hours at the most before I go to bed so late that it is really only irresponsible. Is the only way to explain that. Right, so, I mean, the problem is everywhere we put a roboport is going to have a radar anyway, just because that's where we are. But if I delete that radar and then walk away, it's this. Compared to the radars this, right? So this radar here, if we press pause to see the chunks, is going 1, 2, 3 chunks all the time. But this roboport is just about on that chunk, so it's actually going 1, 2 chunks. Well, there we go. That's good. So that means you can build a roboport defense wall, or you can build a defense wall and use roboports as part of it and not have to worry too much about also putting radars down everywhere. Okay, right. Experiment 1 complete. Tank. Right, well, I've got no fuel for it, but I mean, it's got an equipment grid, so how would you remote this? I remember in here it said create Spidertron remote, but if it doesn't, like, if it said create tank remote like immediately, then that's fine. Remote? No. Tank, I just did that, and this doesn't give you anything. Is there a special remote controller in the equipment grid that I just failed to notice? Remote? No. Tank? Just the tank and the storage tank, which is not a tank. I mean, it is a tank, but not that kind of tank. Alright, well, let's put solid fuel into it then and see what else happens. So if we go into remote view now, drive remotely! Oh my god! I don't believe it. Alright, well, this just solves all of the problems, does it not? We just, like, maybe put some radars a bit further out so that we can see exactly what's going on, and we'll just check on Now Vise every now and then with the tank. So we will have to... Oh, that is the worst tank in the world if we can't even destroy that. So we should do a few other preparation things then. So we should give it an equipment grid for a start. Well, I mean... Oh no, stop! I forget that they take a million years to break. Right. Equipment grid. Where did it go? There it is. We could give it the energy shields that we were going to have, because we're going to Fulgora, right? And there are... The Factorio Facts Friday said that there were no enemies on Fulgora. We just have to contend with lava. We're pretty sure that we decided Fulgora was the place to go. Volcanus has the worms, and Fulgora has the lightning. But Fulgora doesn't have any actual physical enemies. I think. Maybe. Well, what does it take to make an energy shield anyway? That's not that bad if we... Oh no, we're gonna need plastic. Alright, I'll bring some of these with me. I'll just make some more and bring some of these with me. Okay. So let's make another portable fission reactor for the tank. Can you put an exoskeleton in the tank? That would be quite funny. You can! Factorio is a realistic game. It's a realistic game. It teaches you real life skills, like how to get a tank to go faster by putting an exoskeleton on its treads. Sorry, I'm just taking my cardigan off. I think my partner's put the heating on, but little does she realise I'm sat in a room with 2 screens on. Basically sat in front of a radiator anyway. I'm not going to put exoskeleton in the tank. The speed is irrelevant. Can one throw defender robots from the tank if they are driving it remotely? So if I put defender robots on my toolbar and then go into remote view, click the tank, press drive remotely, get the defender robots out of my hotbar. Doesn't look like I can. Okay, well that's fine. I don't really think they would need them, would they? Okay. I guess we should also set up a little logistics station for it as well, like a little parking lot with a chest that can fill it up with stuff from the logistics network, but we can do that easily as well because we've got a requester chest. So let's make somewhere for the tank to live that's not too annoying to get to and from. I guess by the mall makes the most sense. God, it takes so long to stop. Okay, so the tank is going to live roughly here-ish. Sensible play is to put this logistics chest in a bunch of walls so that then this arm can, like, bring stuff from the chest into the tank without you running the risk of, like, crashing headfirst into the tank. My hotkeys for control make this bigger and smaller have changed. I have to work out what's going on. Control plus mouse wheel up, control plus mouse wheel down is what I wanted, but control plus something else is also causing something else to not work. Move blueprint absolute grid up. Oh, I forgot about that. Delete item. Oh, that's in the editor. We don't care about that. Oh, okay, well, why is that not? It's working. Like, it obviously is working, but the preview is going away when I hold control. Is that a bug? Is that a bug or not? Alright, so what do we want in this? Ammo, obviously. This doesn't work. Oh, it can have its own... Alright, okay, fine, I'm stupid. It can have its own logistics. Turning off personal also... Yeah, okay, right, it can have its own logistics. Alright, fine. Fine. I will still make a little parking lot for it, though. I always want at least 1,000 red ammo. They don't even, the tank itself doesn't even need robots. I mean, they had to do something, obviously. They had to make some sort of compromise on how are people going to defend their bases when they're not there. And if you can have a Spidertron, then why not have that slightly earlier? It seems silly to have to... don't have that many logistics robots, but it's fine. If they hadn't have nerfed laser shooting power in this update, I would just fill this with also personal lasers, but that doesn't seem like it's as good. Let's get this logistics thing set up first. Alright, so it's going to need this. I guess it should have I was going to say, should it have robots with repair packs, but that is a recipe for disaster, because as soon as you do that, then you go out fighting and robots start perishing because they're trying to repair the tank in the middle of I was going to say in the middle of service. very hospitality coded. What do these stack to these days? 100? Alright, 200 of those is more than enough then. What else can go in the tank these days? Cannon shells? Do I care about that? Steel plates, plastic bars, explosives. That's relatively cheap, bar the explosives, but then the explosives are very cheap. 1 coal, 1 sulfur makes 2 explosives. If you can build these, why would you ever... If you can build explosive cannon shells, why... Oh, they need 2 explosives, okay. Should we just do that? Should we just go all in on that? I guess, if we're going to let the tank do everything. Solid fuel, obviously. Let's do 200, so that 100 of it goes into here, and 200 of it, the other 100 goes in the trunk for safe keeping. What's happening with plastic? Petroleum's run dry because we are simply using too much of it. This is working, right? Yes. Oh no, crude oil is an issue. Have I really run this dry? Surely not. This is all hooked up. It's not making much, is it? Let's have a look. Let's see the steady decline. Interesting. It is, yeah, it is actually a problem with getting enough crude oil into the flipping... Alright, well there is this one here, thankfully. So I suppose we could just hook that up to that. Alright, well that's something else to do. This looks like an expansion that we should deal with, but we might experiment with a tank on that. I just realised I didn't finish my train of thought, did I? I felt a bit better. I resubscribed to the Factorio subreddit after deciding that the risk of anything else being spoiled to me was basically 0. And I saw a very highly updated thread about, has anyone else been on Nowvis for 70 hours and still hasn't even launched a flipping rocket yet? And a part of me was like, oh good, I'm not the only one. And another part of me was like, 70 hours? Are you insane? Probably should put this back. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Open widget. Why is it so terrible? It never used to be this bad. I apologise. It never used to be this bad. My OBS settings are literally on the best ones they can be. I suppose I could tick this ignore streaming service setting recommendations, but like, if the recommended settings and the YouTube recommended settings are not enough, then something has clearly gone wrong. What does this enable DVR thing actually mean? Oh, YouTube's DVR feature lets your viewers pause, rewind and continue during the live stream. Maybe if I turn that off, maybe that will help slightly? Sorry if you're actually using that functionality. I don't think anyone is, because no one's here. But they have the opportunity to be here. Maybe that will help. Oh, my stream latency could actually be better. It's on normal, and it could be on low or ultra low. For some reason I got that back to front. For some reason I thought like low was worse. But that don't make any sense, does it? Right. Solid fuel from light oil, please. Just... oh, brilliant. Just, you know, just to make sure. It's so cheap. Like, it's so cheap. Alright. So the tank is fueled. The tank has guns. But what we also said we were going to do is explosives, cannon shells. Alright, so let's make explosives somewhere. Coal, sulfur and water, that's very easy. Let's make that right here, in fact. Those are in chemical plants, yes? Why does it not tell you? Oh, that tells you. Made in chemical... okay, I guess it tells you if it's something that's not an assembler. Alright. Let's have 2 chemical plants making explosives. Oh, we do need to bring water in. This is like as far away as possible from any water in the entire base. Okay, fine. I'm sure this won't cause me any issues later down the line. I love this pipe visualizer. Oh my god, there's even more rocket fuel in these chests. I love this pipe visualizer. I never had a pipe visualizer mod in vanilla, but now I'm wondering how I ever coped without one. It's so nice. Don't talk to me about it, okay? Just don't bring that up, ever. If you wouldn't mind, that would be very helpful to me. Thank you. Half a belt of sulfur and half a belt of coal. Easy. And then, on another belt on the other side, half a belt of steel, half a belt of plastic bars. Projectile range 30, piercing power 1000, damage 1000 plus 2,200 physical. Oh, okay, so would you rather have hardly any physical damage but loads of explosion damage, or would you rather have loads of physical damage but a third of the explosion damage? It's a good question. The range is the same. Stack size is the same. I mean, let's just do explosive cannons, shall we? Why the heck not? Alright, so you need to be... I mean, that is actually the worst possible place I could have decided to build it, but, you know... Let's try something a bit more sensible than this. That's no better, but at least it lets me, like, possibly get away with doing it here or something. You'll reach to there as well, won't you? No, you won't, by like one tile. You'll love to see it. YouTube, please! What are you doing? Why are you like this? I'm not troubleshooting this now. I'll troubleshoot this later. This is really not something I'm willing to spend the time on right this second. Alright, let's do this and this, I guess. Oh god, it's hideous. Can you go any further than that? That would actually be very helpful if you maybe could just to help me out here a tad, my dudes. Because I am in a prison of my own making here. Sideload the belt, who cares? And you're not getting the water because I didn't put the elbow piece in. I wish it'd just reconnect the elbow piece for you. Like, when does anyone ever not want that to happen? And if they really have that issue, then make it a setting. Alright, so this makes 4 explosives every 4 seconds. That's 1 a second. Fact, fans. With 1 a second explosives, we can supply... This needs 2 every 8 seconds, which is 1 every 4 seconds, so we can supply 4 factories making explosive cannon shells. Slightly more because of the crafting speed, but we will, as always on this channel, cross that bridge when we happen to come across it. Why does this say 0.18? Oh, because of the crafting speed. The thing I just said. I will use slow inserters. And I'll use a bulk inserter. It's funny to me that, like, changing the name of this to bulk inserter is something my brain has just readily decided to memorize. Never do I ever say stack inserter now, when I mean bulk inserter. But for some reason, adding a 4th module has made me just call these quality modules. Just, this is now a quality module in my brain. My brain indexed the wrong address when it wrote the data. It overwrote this index rather than appending a new one. Sorry. Programmer joke. Fake programmer joke, because I'm not actually really a programmer. I'm just a poser. And then, oh, but plastic. Alright, we'll do this first. Sort this plastic out afterwards, right? And then again, I've done this in the worst possible place. Although at least this is back to front, so it's kind of okay. Kind of. Except not. Do you reach? You do reach. Okay, that is actually genius. That is a huge win for me. For people like me. It's the ugliest bus you've ever seen. Use a compact bus. It saves you so much hassle and effort rather than having to build, you know, belts like... Don't do that, because the robots will do it. Alright, you're at least going to work though, right? Quality modules, you think? Productivity modules? Can't put productivity modules in them. Wow, that was good. Alright, let's let this tick over. What's the stack size of these bad boys these days? 100. Okay, they are quite strong as well, but I will do 500 of these. If I click the right one. Yes, good. That would be embarrassing. Wait all that time for explosive cannon shells and then... Okay, good. And then also give me 500 cannon shells, I guess. Right. Oil. Petrol. Give me 2, 7, 11 pump jacks, please. Got 5 on me already. Let's actually do this the sensible way and not handcraft a whole bunch of crap. 2 stacks of these. Pipes. I'm going to need the pipes anyway, so I may as well just grab all the flipping pipes. Steel is in a buffer, but the buffer's all the way over here, which is something I really need to change because it's so far away. What did I say? 11? 5, 10, 11. Okay, good. Stone is also something... Oh, I'm not researching. Oh, God. Maybe that's probably fine, given that plastic is a huge issue. But I'm just going to hook the plastic up in a minute. Let's research going to Folgora. I'm ever so slightly concerned that by researching one... Ooh, lightning rod. That by researching one, it makes the others impossible... not impossible to go to, but it ups the research value of, like, the next one, but... Are they always the same distance away, or... Solar power in space 200%? Or is it like the first one you research, it ends up being the closest one? It's a good question, don't know. Right, let's research this. Spend the last 1,000... science packs on that, and then I've got power poles, I've got a radar, I've got an ample number of pipes, too many underground pipes really, some have said. I'll just hook this up to this pipe network as well. No, the cliffs! I'm shut off from the thing because of the bloody cliffs. My Roboport range is just not quite big enough. Alright. Okay. You know what I really miss? I really miss the mod that did the... pump. Prevent unwanted manual placement of these. Because, I mean, this bit's easy enough, but... hooking up all the flipping pipe network afterwards, yikes. Because you definitely end up doing it inefficiently as well, because you're just like, I can... It's a travelling salesman problem, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's either you can work out the most efficient... You can try and work out the most efficient way to do it, but that is computationally so intensive. It can't be that intensive if a flipping mod I downloaded can do it. Maybe that's incorrect assumption. It must be, I mean... Must be kind of... Maybe it definitely doesn't do the most efficient way to do it, it just does a way to do it. It just does basically this with a spine, is what it was doing anyway. Just hook this up in a circle in case the worst happens, put a radar in there. Why aren't radars on my hotbar somewhere? Pipe to ground is in the way. Is there some parity between the length of this now and how far the undergrounds go? Because these go 32 and these go some amount of distance. Because if so, that would make doing something like this very helpful, wouldn't it? It's just about not right enough. Just about in... Can't believe I ran out of oil. I never run out of oil. Why is YouTube playing up? Oh my god, I just want to stream. Why are you making this so hard for me, YouTube? Error? Not enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Open widget. Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video. What do you mean you're not receiving enough video? OBS says you're getting 13,000 bytes. Kilobytes as well. You frickin' bugs. If you're there, it's bad, isn't it? It's bad. Quality is bad. Still complaining. These turrets actually achieving anything? How did you not get power? The stream is running good on my end. Thank you, JB. Thank you so much. The YouTube the YouTube Studio thing for the streaming is giving me a whole host of issues. Error, no data, no data, no data. Like just flipping backwards and forwards between streamers healthy, error, no data, like every 5 minutes. Maybe I should just not pay any attention to it. Just assume that it's fine. That always works out for the best, doesn't it? Okay. That should have solved that problem. Yes, look at this. 4K in each. Just need to actually make more of it. If I had a little jump, don't know if it's delayed on my end. I mean, there's definitely a lot of latency going on. I always have complaints about latency that like, I read that chat message as soon as it popped up, but you probably won't hear that I've replied for like 20 seconds, at least. I'll do some troubleshooting another time, as I say. I'm not on for long tonight. I had to get up at... What time did my alarm go off? 5:15. To get to work by 6. And I'll have to do the same again tomorrow now because some selfish so-and-so has decided that they're going to be ill. If you can imagine such a thing. I mean, rude. Okay. Oil is fixed. Put the tags back on, because the to-do list had my tags. Check south for biters. That is definitely good. Alright, we can get rid of these, because we have found out, luckily, that the tank is remote controlled. Am I not getting any of these? Is it not made a I didn't put any outputs on the... I didn't put any outputs on the assembler. It does have a delay, that doesn't bother me, I just got to the point of getting oil. Yeah, I mean obviously a little bit of a delay is acceptable / necessary. It does make, I suppose if you ask me a question it's going to be 20 seconds before you get the answer, but that's like, what, 6 TikToks? Could have watched 6 TikToks in that time. That's crazy. Okay. Do you mean you personally just got to the point of getting oil? Are you playing along? Are you playing along? That's a big milestone, oil. Really is. Alright, so we're just not making enough... We're just not actually making enough petroleum. We've got 8 of these making 11 a second, and we've got 8 of these, yeah, that each consume 20 a second, so that's annoying. So I guess prod modules is a good idea here, because we'll slow them down, but also functionally there won't be any difference in how often they're running, because they're already running slowly anyway, but the productivity modules will give us slightly more plastic. Slightly more plastic. Where's my build? It's over here. And the assemblers kick in. Wish I'd found another use for this thing. Enable, disable, set recipe thing. I'm sure it'll happen. Right, now they need 17 a second, which is a bit better. What if I also put speed modules in these? Is that a good idea? Am I better off putting quality modules in these as well? So I mean, this says 20 crude oil in and 11 a second out. If you put quality modules in, that changes down 3 and down 3 crude oil in, but only down 0.6. And then usually what's a good idea to do is just offset it with one speed module. Do 2 quality and 1 speed. That works fairly well whenever you don't have access to beacons. Where are all my... Why didn't it make more of these? I'm new to the game, have played Satisfactory before. It's very different to Satisfactory. Like, you'd think on the surface it would be similar. And there are, of course, a lot of similarities, but there are definitely more differences. I couldn't get to grips with Satisfactory at all. I don't know. I do take notes with the way you've been laying out areas. Well, good flipping luck, mate, I tell you. I get everything way too close and can't add more where needed. Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway, I think, from a lot of... You think it's going to be enough space, and it still isn't enough space. A good rule of thumb, really, is to make sure you always leave at least a roboport of different distance between every single thing you do. It's like, as long as you can do this in between every thing. So, like, these batteries, arguably a mistake, but because the batteries and the electric engines were all part of the same thing to just go to robot frames, I got away with it. But yeah, like, so a roboport is 4 tiles wide, so providing you've always got enough space to fit a roboport in between things, you should be okay, roughly. You don't want to take... Space is functionally infinite, but if you... Are you playing with the biters on, by the way? Don't feel ashamed if you... I played with the biters off for a long time. Just because I found trying to learn the game and dealing with the biters so overwhelming. Okay, right. I was going to put speed modules into this to see exactly what that did to the numbers. So this gives you more crude oil usage, but also more output, obviously, because, yeah. Alright, let's just put the quality. No, you know what, let's just leave it. Playing with them on, good. Well, I say good, sorry, that I said don't be ashamed, and then I was like, you're playing with them on, good. Actually, it really doesn't bother me, I didn't mean good at all. It really is. As I say, I just did not like them for a long time, and I still don't really like them anyway. They seem to be more relevant in Space Age, for sure. So it's a fine line between saying you've got infinite space and not expanding too much, because the more you expand, the more you have to defend. Alright, plastic is sorted. We didn't need that much plastic. We don't need 8 chemical plants worth of plastic, so this is fine. It's backing up now. So check south for biters is on the to-do list, and then that will give us some time to let... This is going painfully slowly. I wonder if I should squeeze a 5th one in. Because due to the crafting speed, I can actually squeeze the 5th one in. Just for now. Barely uses anything, really. Oh no, it's made loads, hasn't it? It's also just gone... Give me 200 of these. 100 for the actual cannon and 100 in the tank. And I won't do this then. Make the starting area bigger so I don't deal with them right off the start. That's also very good. That's also a very sensible plan. I think in vanilla the game didn't do a very good job of letting you know that offense was a perfectly viable defense. Once I learned that you could very easily just go out and about and kill the biters and kill the expansions and not have, you know, just every now and then go into your production chart, look at pollution and see that no biters are absorbing anything, that you're good. You know, you sort of get it into your head that if your base isn't defended, then at any moment biters can just run in from any direction and start munching on stuff, but ultimately that's not how it works. So it's much easier to just go out and about and destroy bases than it is to build a defensive perimeter. I don't think I've ever built a defensive perimeter in my life beyond the Factorio base, and that took far too long and I didn't like it in the end anyway. Satisfactory, I just make them know. I didn't even know the satisfactory enemies were hostile. I only played Satisfactory in like 0.4, 0.5 or something, and I was just like, no, don't really like it, sorry. Building in first person is extremely slow and boring, and there's very little quality of life when I played it at that point. Snapping to grid and belt snapping and stuff like that, I was just like, eh. I'd rather just play a Factorio mod, methinks. Should we take the tank out for a stroll? Or should we just do it ourselves? Let's just do it ourselves. We established that we're pretty strong. Let's take a top up of defender robots. I'm sad that you can't lob defender robots from the tank remotely. He's still going. Wow. So I want to see what happens to this lake if this rounds off here. If this connects to this, then we might have a bit of an issue. But if this like rounds off Spain, Portugal style, you know, then I'm all for it. I was going to say I should have brought more shotgun shells, but I made 100 shotgun shells for the last excursion, and it looks like I'd barely used half of them. Oh, wait, hang on, I should put my energy shields in. Forgot about that bit. Ooh, yeah, they are getting a bit tankier, aren't they? Big worm. Shoot, defender robots, shoot, do something. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. If satisfactory, if you like it, I'm not saying that it's, you know, it's a personal opinion. Of course, just didn't stick for me. I'm not, as I say, I'm not entirely sure why. It may be that if I'd have tried it when it had a few more features later down the line, I would have loved it. I don't know, plenty of people who bounced off Factorio and went, it just doesn't get me the same way as Satisfactory. So, you know, this base looks like a nightmare. Let's go all in on defender robots. We can throw 30 of these now. And then with a bit of luck we can run to the next big base as well. Good. Go, 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 go. How does the steam work for power in this? Knowing how to balance out the most for power, I can't seem to figure that out right. Okay, yeah, my robots are dying, so that is fine. Icarus. I don't know what that is. So this is my initial steam power setup. Let me get rid of this flashing light. This is the steam power setup that works in the early game. It's a bit different in Space Age, but basically you do the offshore pump. So if you hover over this boiler, it uses a certain amount of water, and that's mostly what's changed, is that the offshore pumps output a hell of a lot more water now. Let me make a save just in case some buyers come and nom on my legs. So you can feed something absurd like 200 boilers now with this, because the water outputs 1200 a second there on the side, so where it says working with the green light pumping speed 1200 a second. Whereas these boilers only need 6 per second, because they made a change to the water to steam conversion, where now water expands into steam rather than it used to be 60 water in, 60 steam out. Now it's 60 water in, 6 water in, 60 steam out. So you can hook an absurd number of boilers up to one water pump, so don't worry too much about that. So providing this has got water and a fuel source supplied to it, can be coal, can be wood, can be whatever you want really. As long as it is a burnable fuel source, as long as the thing that you're putting in says fuel value on it when you hover over the tooltip, so coal, wood, solid fuel, spoilage, not fish. And then you put the steam engines either next to them or you connect them with pipes. Steam engine consumes 30 steam, so this says over on the side here, consumes water, outputs steam, 60 steam per second, which means you can attach 2 boilers to it, 2 steam engines I should say, because a steam engine consumes 30 steam per second. So your ratio is basically 2 to 1. It used to be that an offshore pump could only supply 20 boilers, so it used to be a 20 to 40 ratio, but that has gone out the window. So basically, as long as you're always building twice as many steam engines as you are boilers, and you hook up 2 engines to each boiler, you should be golden. And then as long as you can hook them up directly, so they've got these 2-way arrows on them, which let you know that the steam can go in and out both ways. So I hook them up like this. This is just personally the way I do it. Like, there's many different ways to do it. Some people don't like having this pipe thing in the middle, or some people don't like having this pipe here to separate them out. You know, they just have them all in a big row. You could add more than 2 to 1 boiler, but the problem you've got is this will only make 60 steam per second. So it might like work, it will look like it's working, but really if your power output at the very bottom there generates electricity, if your boilers and steam engines are maxed out because your power supply, so up here, if this production bar is maxed out, you are producing as much energy as you're consuming, then the steam engine on the end will say power output 0, because this one's taking all 30 of the first 30 of the steam. This one's taking the second 30 of the steam, leaving none with this for this one on the end. So when your power consumption is low, it will look like it's working. It's only when then you use a lot more electricity that the one on the end will suddenly look like it stopped working for no reason, when it was really should have never worked in the first place. I hope that made some sense. Something survive over here? Yes, so that the steam engines are smart enough to only use what is required at that point. So let me, if I go all the way back to my base, thank you, you're welcome, you're very welcome. If I just quickly go back to my base, because I'm actually making a lot of power on the other side of the base with nuclear, so I can detach that completely and demonstrate slightly. Wow, this turret wreckage is still here from like 15 hours ago, that's crazy. Usually those things sort of decayed, but so this is my nuclear power plant. I designed this on one of the other streams. I wish I could remember which one, but a few days ago, I designed this and walked through why this does what it does and how it does it. So if I actually just completely detach power from this, yeah, so now this electricity network is not part of the main network at all. So now my steam engines are going absolute gangbusters trying to keep up with the power demand, and it's not enough. There we go, finally is decided it's not going to be enough steam. And now here at in all the bars here on the very right hand side at the bottoms, you can see generate steam, output 60 of 60, consumption 29, 30 of 30, 30 of 30, like, been watching your stream backwards. That's fair enough. I mean, like then you can sort of stop when you're like, right, he's in the early game and I understand that now, so I'm out. So yeah, you can see that these boilers are now working at their absolute maximum. All of the bars are full. This is burning all the coal, all the water it can to make as much steam as it can, and this is using it all, but it's still not enough to satisfy the demand. But then as soon as I Control Z this, are you sure you want to undo an action? Oh, that's nice. Control Z this and put this back. The steam turbines kick in. Put this on a minute graph. The steam, or a 10-minute even, and show you the steam turbines kick back in that are attached to the nuclear power. And the steam engines go back to basically doing nothing. Yeah. And that also works with solar as well. So when you if you start attaching solar panels to your power supply, that will naturally lower the demand for the steam boilers throughout the day. So you'll notice that your charts will, your electricity charts will go up, down, up, down, up, down. So the solar powers will work during the day, and that will take some of the pressure off the steam boilers. But then in the night, the steam boilers have to run 100%. Well, not 100%, but they have to run as much as needed. So you'll see that in a production chart as well. Right, let me load back to where I was down here and continue with the genocide. Probably shouldn't say that, should I? This current climate. There's a very good sandbox mode as well, so from that new game screen, rather than going into free play, you can pick the sandbox mode. Not done it in Space Age, so I don't know how it copes with the different planet surfaces and stuff, but it gives you free rein to put everything down wherever you want, full map view, infinite items, you know, and you can use that to do a lot of testing. Used to build blueprints in it. These big biters are... oh, these are mediums, they're not even bigs, my god. I did the tutorial like 5 years ago when I first got the game. I don't remember a single thing about it. It'd be interesting to revisit it actually, see how it actually reads as an expert, a self-proclaimed expert. Am I overthinking this? Can I just literally stand in the middle of this nest with 30 defender robots? Yeah, basically can. Maybe going overboard here. It's a very difficult, complicated game. Jumping in, trying to figure it out. Yeah, definitely. Started over a few times. Yeah, I remember that. There's a video on my channel, one of the last videos I uploaded before the Next Fest, where I went back and looked at some of my early save files from even from when the game was pre 1.0 as well, and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Alright, so the reason we're doing this is that biter expansions only happen at timed intervals, and they can only expand up to 7 chunks at a time. They can only go 7 chunks in one direction. At the very most. Sometimes they won't even do that. So the further away you clear nests, the longer it takes them to expand back into your territory. So of course, if we plan to be off-world, the longer we do this for, the better, really. I want you to survive before... Ah! Oh, I missed one. It's alright, I'll get it on the way back. Get it on the way back. Can you stop them by putting turrets on the cleared nest? They'll just expand. They'll like literally just pick... Let me save it. And go into F4, which is the debug settings, and find Show Enemy Expansion Candidate Chunks. So the way it works is that they will they can only expand up to 7 chunks away from where a nest is. So this is all worms. I remember exploring this yesterday, and they can't expand from just worms. They have to expand from a nest. And then the more green it is, the more likely they are to pick that. So they're very, very unlikely to expand right next to one of their existing bases. And then when an expansion happens, this circle will flash, and that will indicate that the biters are expanding to that chunk. These align with the chunks. If you press pause on your keyboard, it pauses the game and shows you the chunk Now I don't use this in the game because it's obviously cheating, because wherever the red is where biter nests are, so like even though I've not explored past the fog of war here, it's pretty obvious that there's going to be a biter nest around here. And there's obviously a biter nest here which is expanded into my radar view, into my explored area but not covered by the radar, so I don't know what's in this chunk. There is a borderline exploit that you can do to get rid of them forever, whereby because they only expand from existing nests, if you exterminate them from everywhere you've revealed, but you don't explore more chunks beyond that, it's quite complicated to do. Functionally, yeah, you can never get rid of them, because once you walk over here, the game starts generating like all of these chunks behind the scenes. So you're going to naturally like generate terrain the further out you go, but there is a way around it with certain things. So yeah, so there's definitely biters here. And I've been here once, but I've not been here recently, so it's not refreshed, and I don't have radar coverage over here, do I? Yeah. So that's how the biter expansions work. Let me load my save so that I've never been into debug mode in this save. Oh no! Debug mode persists between loading now. Was that always the case? Probably was. Not that it matters. Debug mode doesn't like disable achievements or anything like that. So yeah, once you've cleared the nest, once it becomes empty space, there's nothing stopping a biter expansion from going towards it. That where you build naturally disincentivizes them from exploring. Let me show that as well, actually. If I put enemy expansion candidate chunk values on, so this chunk has a value of 1, they could expand here, but if I fill this chunk with my own stuff, that value goes down, makes them much less likely to expand into this chunk. So they'll sort of naturally expand towards you up to a point, and then they'll just sort of start surrounding you, so that it's very rare for them to expand into your base. It's more that they expand to the outskirts where the pollution is and then start sending attacks. Radars need to be placed around the map, or you can stack them together. They do unfortunately need to be placed around the map. Oh, my robots! I don't have my robots with me. Let me just load again. The more radars in one place, the quicker it will... enemy expansion candidate values. The quicker it will scan, because the radars... Let me see. I've got one here, right? So this bar on the right hand side where it says sector scanning progress, rather. Every time that bar fills up, it reveals another chunk in its spiral of how it scans, and then it will go back to the beginning. And a radar won't scan. 2 radars in the same chunk won't scan the same chunk. So when this fills up, any second now, it was these. Or it was one of these. And one of these was the other. So that's what's refreshing the map. That's why I know these are here, because the radar must have scanned it at some point recently. But they only scan in, what does it say? Exploration coverage distance 14. So they will explore, they will do that 14 chunks around themselves, which is like, it's actually way more than that. That must be what this is. 14 chunks is a lot. And more radars in the same area will scan the sectors faster, but it won't reveal more of the map. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that as well at first. Enemy expansion is a setting in the world generation settings as well. So when you start a new game, you can just turn enemy expansion off if you'd rather just not deal with it. So the enemies are there, they exist, but once you've cleared them, once you've cleared the space, that space is yours forever. And that is a much more relaxed way of playing the game, I find. I find that if I just want to build a base, but I also do want to sometimes fight biters, I will put it on that. And that's the default option when you do what's called a rail world setting, where the ore patches are very far apart, but they're very rich to encourage you to move them around with trains a lot more. Because if enemy expansion was on with those settings, it would be a flipping nightmare, man. Can you imagine? So when you build a radar, actually, it puts this blue square around the map. Can you see up here? So this will tell you the area that it's actively going to show. So it's generally a good idea to make sure that they're not overlapping when you do that. Although it doesn't, again, it doesn't really matter. They're just going to scan the sectors faster for you. So, but you can at least use that functionality to min-max your radars if that's what you're going for. Man, the combat shotgun is so good! Roboports have little radars in them as well now, which is nice. Makes sense, so that the robots can see where they're going, I guess. I'm about out of defender robots, so this is probably going to be the last fight here. Let me see if I can't quickly get to this. Okay, what does this do? Is this a lake or an ocean or what? Let's follow it around. We're entering Spain. Going over to Portugal now. Moving down to Gibraltar. Oh my god, it is Spain! It is Spain and Portugal! Yes! Look at that! That's huge news! Oh, turret creep is so bad now. It used to be very good. Used to be the strat. Oh look, and there's Gibraltar as well. That's crazy. This seed was random, I can assure you. Watch the first VOD. Let's throw the last of these defender robots out. I've still got some high quality ones on me. Not many though. Not enough to probably notice any difference. If this is also the ocean, that is absolutely humongous news. That makes defense... So like now nothing will... I just know nothing will come from this way now. Because the biters can't traverse the water, even if there are some biters over there, they'll just... They can go around the water. Whoa, that's a big nest. Oh, this has to go, unfortunately, doesn't it? It's like the only biters for miles around now. And I've just run out of defender robots. I'm going to do my best to make it so that I don't have to keep a continuous eye on it. Not 100% clear, but as I say, because they can only expand 7 chunks at a time, I'm hopefully going to make it so that it will take a long time for them to get near the base, and if I get distracted. You can drive the tank remotely, and I'm assuming you can do that even when you're on another planet, which I only found out today. So this is the plan, but if I'm only clearing little tiny nests, expansion nests are always going to be smaller, much smaller. You'll never get an expansion this size. This is absurd. Expansions are more like this size, or I mean, it's a shame I've cleared them all now, really, but like this was a nest that was generated when the game started. So's this one, so's this one, so's this one. But yes, the expansions will be more this size. So I'm hoping that the tank will just deal with that. Oh, it's the tank can go into the fog of war, but doesn't actually reveal any chunks. That's funny. Just controlling a big arrow, asteroid style. Playing asteroids. Oh, yeah, of course. That's going to make fighting this nest kind of annoying, isn't it? Did that do anything? Oh no, I'm being attacked, but I can't work out what's going on. Okay, so this is definitely not viable for anything that's outside the... Are they chasing me? They should be chasing me. Or have they given up, or I ran them over or something? You don't use the trains. I do use the trains, but not for a long time. Where I have to. Oh, can't believe... I mean, alright, fine. I'll leave the tank there, and I'll just go and drive it myself rather than remotely. No, I do use the trains. I love the trains. And I'm looking forward to the extra train functionality they added for this. But, it's very hard for me to justify using trains for just, like, simple A to B stuff. I like to use the trains once you get to more... either very large distances or more logistical needs. Can't believe the tank doesn't have a bloody radar in it or something. The roboports have a radar, but can't put a radar in the tank. I mean, I guess that's the balance, right, of the remote view. Oh, I did fire a shell, but just because it was in the fog of war. I'm not even going to shoot. Wow, this is doing a lot more damage to me than I expected. That's worrying, to be fair. I really can't be risking losing the tank to some worm spit like that. Oh, I meant to put shields in it, didn't I? Yeah. I meant to put shields and use the equipment grid for it and things like that. That would have probably helped quite a lot. I'm actually not going to. I'm not going to do anything with that base. So I'm too scared now. If I could barely destroy 6 worms, then that does not bode well. It's nice to not have to avoid the trees, to actively decide that you're going to hit the trees. Alright, so when I'm off-world, what should happen is if I get... Oh no, slow down! Ooh! Hit a whole bloody chest full of red circuits. What am I doing? Oh! Okay, it was just an inserter. It was just a pipe. No! Don't be like me! Okay. Do not drive through the base. Put it back on its special parking spot. Get the roboports back out. You did better without the tank, yeah, tell me about it. Okay. Right, let's finally... Let's not get any more distracted than we are. Give the tank some shields. The fission reactor is 4x4, so that will go here, and then some batteries, I guess. Like this, and then this, and then... I mean, I could put 2 roboports in there, I suppose. What else could I put in there? Night vision won't make any difference because you can't see anyway in remote view. It's just personal batteries, isn't it? It's probably even just 2 more of these. Yeah. Let's do that. Alright, let's go and get some stuff to make a fission reactor. That will certainly help. But yeah, I don't think the tank is going to be used for proactive means here. I think it's just going to be, I'll wait to get like an icon that says you're being attacked and then just remote view the tank to sort it out. Seems like it's probably the play. I really don't know. I mean, we're in the unknown here. Super in the unknown. I don't know anything about what's going on anymore. Hit the limit. Uranium fuel cells, which ironically I can craft by hand. They need steel. Oh no, they need iron. I was going to say I could actually just make them right here, but... I suppose I could also do my perimeter of laser turrets, like I do have a silly number of laser turrets in a chest somewhere. They nerfed the personal lasers, but they did not nerf the turrets. Right, actually build the thing. Didn't pick up any low density structures. Okay. Go. 300 hit points of shield, that's not a lot. Are you going to add any walls around the area? I might do, as I say, I might just do a cursory. I might, because I've got a roboport network around most of the base, so it wouldn't be too difficult for me to just put I mean, these are already in a storage chest, so the robots can just do this. So are the walls. But the walls are running thin because I've been absolutely abusing this stone patch for the last, oh god, I don't even want to know how long, 20 hours apparently. Just mining to make walls from that stone patch. So I mean I could. It would not be too taxing to do that. Like if I just give myself 50 laser turrets now and some walls, I could go out and do a little chunk thing, I suppose. You can put the chunks on while you're... Can you? Or it's grid. Show tile grid, that's the one. That's the one. So like a laser turret can do a pretty good job of defending an entire chunk, really. But I suppose if you were trying to be sensible about it, you would at least, you know. See, my issue is that this is already... Well, it's only 64 walls, I suppose. And then... vaguely evenly spaced. Like, vaguely. Chunk is 64 tiles across, right? 32 tiles across, rather. So the middle would be here. So if it's... like there-ish. And there. And in theory this distance should be... just want this distance to be the same, really, when I do this. $32 doesn't really go into that, does it? Unless I do this. With a power pole. Pylon makes more sense, because the pylons are 32 as well. So yeah, actually that makes more sense. And just have 3 turrets for each pylon. Let me turn this off now. And then that, you know, I can just build that around the base. Providing I build it within... You know, I'll have to expand the Roboport grid, I guess, to make my base a vague square. But I'm pretty sure I don't want to do that. You know, I think with the expansion and the pollution cloud being fairly manageable, as I say, these are worms, these will never expand. We'll see, we'll see. The smart option is to... Now the thing is, if I incorporate a Roboport network into this, I can do whatever I want, because I've got Roboports being made in this chest. So providing I always build in a construction area, robot will come and pick it up, put it down, and then it's powered by the radar as well. So like I can just do this in whatever shape I want around the base. So it might be I just see how it goes, save this as a blueprint in my Space Age blueprint book, and just come back later to it if it doesn't work. And then I was also thinking about incorporating some gun turrets into that as well, just to be belts and braces about it. Like, use logistics network to bring ammo, you know, put a blue requester chest down and say make sure this always has some ammo in it, and just use an inserter to do that, but then that's more power supply and blah, stuff like that. Nah. This should be more than enough, I should think. I mean, we could test it. We could actually test it. So, like, if I make a save now, and then I do /editor, using the map editor will disable achievements. You can do entities, and you can just put biters down in a paintbrush and see like what your wall has a problem with. You know, so like 3 big biters kind of struggled. But they've got to get through the wall, and the Roboport will naturally repair the wall as well. So like the repair packs are there, so the robots are going to come out. Oh, they've done it already. Just wasn't. No, they haven't. The robots should be coming over and picking up these repair packs and repairing the. Except I don't think they are, because I don't think this Roboport network is actually connected to any of the others. So, you know, providing you know, if you get a massive attack, like 1 behemoth biter, for example, or 2 behemoth biters, that might cause you a problem. Yeah, that might be an issue. And a spitter? Can a spitter... Yeah, that's a big issue as well. Oh dear. So, yeah, maybe it's not foolproof. Would the spider work for defending the base? Yes, definitely. The spiders are... Well, the spiders in 1.1 were very, very good. Obviously, I can't speak for how good they are. And this in agricultural science pack, so if you want Spidertrons early, you'd have to go to Gleber first. And I've heard that going to Gleber first is an actual nightmare. We're a long way from behemoth biters attacking us like that. And yeah, I mean, the robots can sort this out. Probably. Maybe. You can see the enemy stats in here now, can't you? Explosion and physical resistance. Spitters, just explosion resistance. Flamethrowers really are where it's at. But then I have to bloody get crude oil or light oil pumped around the base, which sounds like even more of a headache. Okay, right. I've become super distracted in this stream, but it's fine, in a good way, in a good way. Done this. Alright. A long time ago, I researched going to Fulgora, and it came up a thing. Fulgora briefing! Dry barren planet with no signs of life. Dangerous lightning activity. Solar panel is much less effective, however lightning can be collected by lightning rods and stored in accumulators. There are no natural resources found anywhere on the planet. The only things available are leftovers in the form of scrap. What might have been oceans is now full of heavy oil that can be extracted with offshore pumps. So basically this is just saying, bring these, you idiot. Don't forget to bring these. Alright, we don't actually make accumulators anywhere, which is really annoying. So I guess we should do that. They're really cheap, to be fair. Five batteries and an accumulator, and how many batteries am I stockpiling? 600? That wasn't smart. What's that? 120 accumulators. Actually, that is a fair amount. That is a fair amount. Okay. And how many accumulators go in the rocket? 50. Okay, so we're going to need a lot of rocket launches to get the accumulators done. It's fine. We're making a plan. We're making a plan. We should make a shopping list, really. Batteries. In you go. Alright. New tag. Is there a Fulgora icon now? There is. Haha, Fulgora. Fulgora shopping list. Accumulators times, what did I just say? 120. Sounds good to me. It's going to be slightly more than that because I had more than that in the chest, but 120 accumulators, definitely. Lightning rods. Steel plates, copper cables, stone bricks. Do we want to risk making that on site? No. They're very cheap. You can put 50 in the rocket as well. So alright, let's do 50 of those. Lightning rod and lightning collector. Right, we need both of those then. No, that's supercapacitors and electrolytes, which I don't have. Okay, yeah. Lightning rods times 50. What else did it say? What else did it say to definitely bring? Offshore pumps. Fluid. So loads of pipes. I'll just mark this as fluid handling gear, because that is definitely going to be needed. And then just other stuff, I guess. Like, it really depends on... this is quite a lot of space, isn't it? We can send some stuff back now that we know what we need and what we don't need. Increases the hub and landing pad inventory size. Why is that not built, huh? Yeah, that was easy. They're really cheap as well for this stage in the game, at least. So we can take loads of stuff, really. It's pretty irrelevant. We should think about it, though. Right, let's make those lightning rods. Or at least get them all to start making lightning rods. Steel plates, copper... Ah, stone bricks! No! The one thing... This is the one thing we didn't want to happen. Where's the next stone patch? It's all the way over here. Oh, there's this one. They're both equally terrible. There's not one over here, then. No. Oh, there's this one. 4.4 million as well. And this has got a nice defendable choke point as well, on where I abandoned the car. Better Call Saul style. I am stockpiling bricks, aren't I? I am stockpiling bricks. It's fine. It's fine. I can just build them with the stockpile of bricks. They only need 4. 4 times 50, 200. Easy. Easy. We'll do it like that instead. We'll do it live. Steel plate and copper cable. Good. Make you... Oh, copper cable. Make you... all the way up here. Oh, piercing rounds. I forgot I was going to try... Whoa, this chest should be limited. I forgot I was going to try piercing rounds. I'm even stronger now. The mall, the longest mall you've ever seen. Just one big long straight line. Lightning rod can't be crafted on this surface. Magnetic field is too low. Okay, right. So that solves that one then. We need to actually take stone. Stone, copper, steel, wasn't it? We need to take those. That's interesting. Does that preclude us from building anything else while we're there? Crafting surface conditions, magnetic field 99%. So if anything has a crafting surface condition, we need to be careful of that. Doesn't look like anything now Vs related is a problem. I wonder if there's a way to like filter that. Nope. I'm sure there will be at some point. Okay. Alright, let's start shipping stuff up to space then, I guess. How many stone bricks can go in a rocket? 500, that's good, alright. We'll do it like that then. Send the stone bricks up to the space platform. We also need to build these thrusters, but these are very easy. It's the fuel as well. We need to think about how we get the fuel. We need to send some chemical plants up, but beyond that it should be okay. It's just carbon and... Oh, we need ice, don't we? I need to stop making space science really and start stockpiling ice. I bet we've got so much space science backed up now. Just been producing it this whole time and not been spending it. Uh, 3,000. I mean, not loads, but less than I expected. Spend some of it? On? What? Physical projectile damage? Seems a bit of a waste. Yeah, let's just start stockpiling ice for the trip. Because we... oh, what did we want? Thrusters need the fuel. Consumes thruster fuel and thruster oxidizer. Thruster fuel needs carbon and water. Thruster oxidizer needs iron and water. Okay, that's okay. So we should be okay with that, with what we've got. Maybe? Maybe. Iron ore, carbon, yeah, so we don't need any of this, really, anymore. Let's just leave this like this. I think those gone forever now that I did that. Let's leave this like this, and then we can still use our modest asteroid sorting process here. Do I have any more space platforms? Not loads, has to be said, not loads. And we'll use this space here to sort of try and do this. I don't know how many thrusters we're going to need to build, but definitely some. Let's send some space platforms up. I was stockpiling those somewhere, yep. Should launch by itself because it needs space platforms up there, so it should know that it's waiting for that. Except it's not. No, that's not what I wanted. Auto request missing construction materials, that's the one. Okay, this is going to take a little while, isn't it? Let's double this up. And also speed modulate, why not? We've got so much power, I really shouldn't worry about the power supply by using speed modules, it's totally fine. I guess we could take a stack of 5 thrusters up as well. What's this? What's this? Tile placement prevented on space platform. Yeah, okay, well don't make a hole then, just fill the holes in. Oh, you haven't got enough, okay. Rocket capacity 5. Alright, so 50 steel plates, 50 processing units, 25 electric engines. Handcrafting rocket thrusters like a pro. You love to see it. Alright, get those sent up. Send up some of these, send up some chemical plants. So do I have any chemical plants on me? Make some. Craft those by hand as well. Let's make a few more. How many can you fit in the rocket at once? 10, or I may as well send a whole stack then. Silly not to. The problem is I'm going to want to send so much, right? I'm going to want to send furnaces, power poles, inserters, belts, underground splitters, chests. I'm going to really want to make sure I am properly sorted. No point in... leave these here because at least, you know, these... Paused? What do you mean paused? Alright, stockpile some asteroid chunks. Take these out then! No, stop it! Maybe I should have just sent that, actually. How do you, just get it to go, regardless? It used to be auto-launch with cargo, right? I suppose that I can go to the space platform and say, like... I want the 5 thrusters. But I don't like that, because if I use the thrusters, it's then going to think that it needs more thrusters. I just want to, like, launch when full button. There were a few tiers of laser shooting speed that we could probably do. That might help with the defense while we're away. I mean, it objectively will help with the defense while we're away. No two ways about it. Like, I want this to just go. Like, I want that to... I guess that's not the best way of doing it, really, is it? It doesn't really make any sense. Alright, send some thrusters up. Are you going? Yes, that was that. Okay, send these chemical plants up. And then... I sent the bricks up already, didn't I? Yes, almost certainly did. Send the bricks up. 200 bricks I sent up. Oh, that means I need to send up 400 steel plates. Rocket capacity 400. Wow, it's like it expects you to do it exactly like that. And then 12 copper cable is 6 copper plates times 50 is 300 copper plates. That's fine. I bet it can take loads of those though. 1,000, yeah. I'm not going to send 1,000. No. Wait, what did I say? 12 copper cables. One plate makes 2, so 6 copper plates for each, and I want 50, 300. Why did I do this? And then I suppose we should do this then. So yeah, bring me those 300 cables, copper to make the cables, and bring me the 300 steel as well, and then we can at least just... No rocket silos accepting automatic requests from space platforms. Automatic requests from space platforms. Well, no, don't go in the trash slots. Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh, the robots will bring it to them. The inserters are irrelevant. Maybe. I mean, the green light's on now. All requests fulfilled. That's not what I thought would happen. Not enough to fill one rocket. You have to send a rocket's worth. Will this not do it until the rocket's ready to go? I'm guessing. I don't know what's going on or how any of this works, to be frank with you. Okay, the rocket was ready to launch, the robots are coming over. Okay. I mean, I have automated this process that I could have easily done myself, but I'm learning. Got to put 1,000 copper plates into the chest to make sure that it can fill a rocket. Why? I mean, that seems like an arbitrary thing. Not enough to fill the rocket, yeah? So, just launch the flipping rocket anyway. No, you'd be really annoyed, of course, if it did it the other way around. Alright, 1,000 copper cable. Or copper, to make the copper cable. So then this is the thing, right, is this won't disappear. So if we spend any copper, or any steel, it will suddenly say, I need that, and send more to you. So doing it this way around for just the sake of saving yourself a few seconds. Right, how do these thrusters go? So they can go next to each other, but it'd be silly because... Oh no, that could work. Can they be flipped or anything? Cannot be flipped. Can I rotate the input least? No. So we finally got the ability to rotate the oil refineries so that you could do the inputs in a sensible way, and then they went and added these thrusters to be a pain. And they have to go exactly here as well, so I can't even like stagger them so that they... Oh, what? How am I going to do this? And then... Oh, the chemical plants aren't even up here yet. Ah, custom minimum payload. Ah, I see, there we go. I'm eating my words here. Custom minimum payload. Thank you. Thank you, Wube. So good. Pipes! I need to bring up loads of flipping pipes, aren't I? And some fluid tanks. But I needed all of that anyway because I was going to bring up fluid handling stuff anyway. Oh, I can't. My brain. It's 9 o'clock. I need to think about going to bed because I have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning today. And I didn't even take a break. I usually take a break an hour in just to stretch my legs and stuff. But I've been going non-stop, and as such, my brain is beginning to fail. I will send a whole bunch of pipes up. Or I'll put these in this chest so I can at least remember what it is that I was going to send. Whoops, that's not even what I want to do. I want to do this one. Nah, 200 is far too many. Where these 8 steel plates come from? Okay. Got you then. You're on the way. Take care, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in the next stream. Thank you for the help. No problem, you're very welcome. Thank you for stopping by and chatting. Means a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna try and stream every day for the most part. At the moment, as you can probably tell, the odd day off, I suppose. But yeah, catch up with the VODs. Shoot me any questions you've got. Not a problem at all. My pleasure. Take it easy, pal. I'll see you. I can't squeeze this in like that. Well, can I? They just need 2 inputs, right? I can't think about this now. Yeah, I can't think about this now. I'm gonna have to just come back tomorrow when I've had a bit of sleep and a bit more coffee than none coffee left beef. Thank you so much for watching the stream. If you're watching this on the VOD, then yeah, come and hang out on the stream sometime. It's a chill time, as you can probably tell. Other than that, thank you so much. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.